next one here for you. And this one, Matt mentioned, not being able to, all the time kind of melds into one. So this one's a little bit more challenging, but, 2021 just ended. So, what was your favorite release of 2021? This could be movies, music, books, video games. What was your favorite release? Something that you were anticipating that came out and it didn't disappoint you, like Battlefield disappointed me. That was really a bummer.
And I want to cheat and get out ahead of it just so I can beat anybody. And I think it counts as 2021. Battlefield, yes, disappointing. I still have hope. I'm not an EA shill, so I'll get that out of the way first. Spider-Man.
Oh, dude, so great. Yeah. So great.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched it.
I had to jump the line.
I watched it twice that opening weekend, dude. Oh, so cool.
Yeah, another friend of mine who Alec from a band that John and I played in for years. He is a comic fanatic, and he has been my guy for everything and anything Marvel. He got me hooked on all the MCU and everything long time ago. And he's been with me for all the movies, and any questions I've had have been answered right away. But
that's awesome.
He's like, hey man, we're going to sit you down. We are going to force you to watch the Raimi trilogy. You're going to watch the Garfield movies just so, you have that knowledge going into the new Spider-Man. And I'm so happy I did because I got so much closure. I'm gonna have
to like take a few steps back in the recording and be like, hey, spoiler alert. Just FYI, just in case.
All that stuff was leaked.
Listen, if you haven't seen the movie by this point,
I mean, dude, it's not even been a full month yet, bro. Like
that's true. That's true. I'm getting ahead of myself. My bad.
So spoilers aside, watching all of the older the older movies of these Spiders men, if you will. Sorry, it's just it was awesome. It was so.
Dude, I
geeked out the whole time. Yes. I'm very happy I went to see it in a theater instead of waiting. Everybody in the theater was super chill. There was nobody in there. We went on like a Thursday afternoon or matinee, whatever. Morning. Empty theater. I felt comfortable. It was no stress whatsoever. It felt just good to go and see a Marvel movie on the big screen, and I never realized how much I missed it until I went and saw that. So
yeah, dude.
It took until the end of 2021, but hands down favorite release because that's the thing I remember most recently, and my brain is like a goldfish now.
Dude, I get that.
Wow.
Oh man, the second time I was really glad that I had already seen it, because the second time I watched it, these little teenage high schoolers near me, I was just like, if you don't shut up, I'm going to freaking slam your popcorn to the ground and kick you out of here. I was just getting so pissed off. They were so annoying, dude. Just
rough them up. That is
the worst.
That is the attitude right there.
Dude, they were the worst, man. I was so upset. Oh, so annoying. Anyway.
That's some respect. That's some respect.
That's how we know we got old.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, respect the Spider-Man movie, man. Come on.
Don't make me hit you with my walker.
Dude, I feel that so often where I'm like, oh man, if I were to say this stuff on TikTok, all it would just be like the comments would be, okay, boomer, the entire comment section. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I'm so old. And I mean, granted, like, look at this shirt, right? This thing is amazing, but it's the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? The old school, the old school cartoon. And I was like, man, and then like Sandlot on the hat, right? Like, I was like, I'm all old school that way, but like, I'm realizing how old I am when I try to explain stuff to my kids, and I'm like, dude, I'm just old.
This is cool. You should like this.
Yeah, and they're like, they like watch the cartoons, and they're like, it's just like not fast paced, and it is pretty slow paced compared to what we watch, like what they watch now. Anyway, it's kind of sad at times. I'm like, come on, man, just enjoy it.
Oh my god!
All right, who's next?
This time, so I don't go last. Agree with Matt. I loved Spider-Man: No Way Home. Brock and I both are huge Marvel nuts, and so we always are talking about that and Star Wars, and so yeah. That was up there, but music-wise, I had a bunch of albums that I really liked this year. Isaiah Rashad, who Sasha actually introduced me to, who has since become one of my absolute favorite rappers. He put out a new album in 2021, The House is Burning, which I think is one of the absolute, like, not even best rap albums, but just best albums in general.
Nice.
Tying in more with band stuff. Green and I, when we went to Shaky Knees Festival in Atlanta, saw an artist called Noga Erez, and she put out an album called Kids, which was like amazing, super good.
Cool.
Very, very, like, cannot express enough how much I really enjoyed that one. Hiatus Coyote is another really good band. If anybody's just into like real kind of like weird jazzy kind of like pop, funk, R&B infused rock music.
Wow. I'm trying to wrap my head around what that sound is, because you kind of went through like 10 genres.
Listen, Chad, if you've never...
It's accurate, honestly.
If you have never listened to Hiatus Coyote, listen to the song Molasses first.
Okay.
That's like their one like bigger song, but they put out a whole new album this year, and it is unbelievable. Highly, highly recommend for anybody looking for new music. Vince Staples put out a self-titled album, which was really good. Crumb put out a new album called Ice Melt, which I really enjoyed. Still Woozy, who used to be in the band Feed Me Jack, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, you're like way over my head right now.
My bad. Well,
no, you're good. I love it.
Yeah,
I love learning about new stuff, like new bands and stuff.
This dude, Still Woozy, put out an album called If This Isn't Nice, I Don't Know What Is. That was one of my favorite albums of the year. Highly, highly recommend that one if you're into more like kind of vibey, lo-fi music. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good music that came out last year. So I've talked enough for tonight, so I will stop myself there. Sasha or John, you guys want to go?
All right, who's up next?
All right, I was gonna say Nas's album, because Nas actually came out with 2 albums. King's Disease 2 came out of this. He actually came out with an album on Christmas Eve. I was walking around Christmas Eve here, and I saw that he put out something, and I was like, oh shit, he put out a single, and it turned out to be a whole album. That album is also really good. But I also remembered over the summer this guy named Eek, who I really like. I think he's from New Jersey, but then he moved to LA. And he's based in LA now, but he put out an album called Valencia over the it was late spring, early summer. But his sound is like a phenomenal album, and just like every song is super catchy, and like harmonies and singing and all that. And he's super interesting because like he's like just like kind of like he's very, very, very different than us, but he's similar to us in the way that like if you were trying to describe his music to someone, you couldn't really pinpoint it into one genre. So he's like kind of like there's like R&B in there, but also hip hop, and like he plays guitar too. There's sort of like little like touches of like indie rock like sprinkled in there. So it's like it's a really interesting.
Nice, dude.
Mix, but yeah, geek.
Sick, bro. I love it. Yeah, I'm always looking for more stuff to listen to. So now I've got probably more than I can handle right now. That's good.
Very cool. To strike up the Spider-Man thing again, just to add a little cool note, the corner store bodega that they swing away from in that movie was shot in front of my apartment.
No way.
Is the building that that Spider-Man and his aunt are in, like in the whole beginning of the movie. That
dude.
It's 4315 46th Street. I live on 46th Street in Sunnyside, Queens.
Yo,
so I live in Spider-Man's neighborhood.
Dude, you've arrived. Like,
yeah, I mean, their talent last summer, their talent trailers were like right outside of our apartment, and then they were shooting the like boom camera like scenario where he like swings away over the subway train.
That's so cool.
Right outside the apartment. So Tom Holland and Zendaya were just like chilling outside of my apartment. I guess I could have offered them a little like
green opportunity.
But
are you kidding me?
Dude, that's pretty incredible. That's cool, dude.
I was gonna say we could have been the title track.
It was very cool. We could all watch the movie together sometime, and I'll point out the scenes like exactly where it is.
Next time you guys are home, done.
That's so awesome.
Or when you're here, I can just show you.
I like that better, actually.
Dude, that's so freaking cool.
But it's funny you're asking about the top releases, because I literally was just writing this out today because a friend of mine asked me, and I didn't have a single answer for it. So my top 10 releases for for 2021 that I'll just rip through super fast is Holly Dance by Roosevelt, Amberland, New York by Pine Grove, Last Birthday by Valley, Sup by Super American, shout out Buffalo fan.
Hey.
The Rise and Fall of Loverboy by Sir Sly, The Million Masks of God by Manchester Orchestra, Repaint My Mind by The Wildlife, Planet Her by Doja Cat. Doja Cat's listening. I love you. 30 by Adele, Happier Than Ever, Billie Eilish, and then just a bonus track on here, but An Evening with Silk Sonic by Silk Sonic.
Oh, dude. Okay, Silk Sonic blew my mind with their releases. Obviously, like Adele's new stuff. I'm privileged enough to have not used TikTok and not listen to the radio, so it hasn't burned out. Like, I'm still blown away at how phenomenal she is.
I was surprised. I've never been an Adele fan, but I think it was, my brother's fiance was playing in the car, and I was like, damn, this is good.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been super impressed by her, like, ever since Sidewalks, or is that what it was called? Like, holy crap, dude. I was just like, this girl's like crazy. And then like that Rolling in the Deep, it was like awful. Like, I hated that song so much. And Hello drove me crazy. So like, I kind of just like, I lost. I was like, man, she's just not the same. And then this one came out. I was like, okay, never mind. She's freaking amazing.
She's cool. She's just like the only person in like, well, one of few, I would say, in like pop music right now that's just so like regal and like almost like a blast to the past in a lot of ways and stuff like that. It's just like, even if like the songs don't speak to you as much, like you got to respect the approach. It's
I mean, there's so much. And she's obviously just like, she just is spot on with like the sound just matches everything. Like there's just like a very nice cohesive feel with her music and it's impressive. So yeah, dude, and Manchester Orchestra,
really
like
mainstream music that came out this year, like of like bigger, like mainstream pop artists. I feel like it was really high quality stuff. Like obviously her, Silk Sonic, like John said, Taylor Swift re-releasing music. I mean, shout out. Yeah. We're super mainstream.
My wife loves T Swift, but I'm just like, can I just never hear Taylor Swift ever again?
I respect the fact that she said to that guy who screwed her over and was horrible to her and a bunch of other people and is like, you know what? I'm going to re-release my songs like a bunch of years later and make them how I want them now.
She did like a 10-minute live performance on SNL. You don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
It was excellent. It was able to keep you hooked the whole time. I'm not a T Swift fan either. I respect the hell out of what she does. She's great.
Yeah,
I can't sit and listen to her music because stylistically that's not what I enjoyed listening to.
She's like instrumental.
I was gonna say if she put out an instrumental funk album, I'd buy that.
Some instrumental funk, yeah, definitely. That's definitely Taylor Swift's next album. I can just feel it, you know.
I hope so.
Well, I mean, you probably enjoyed Silk Sonic then. I mean,
Silk Sonic was it's really good, real good. Not just because of the old school vibe, but the nice thing I've noticed with a lot of their stuff and a lot of the videos and whatever with it is you don't really see one of Anderson or Bruno hogging the spotlight from one another. Both of them are very much featured equally as equals. And I feel like, you know, each of their abilities, they obviously feed ridiculously well off of one another.
Yeah. And I mean,
as well. And no one takes the spotlight. It's what makes it, you know, phenomenal. There's nobody's on the backstage, you know?
And I love that they showed that musicality can still be mainstream, like actual music, right? Like not just like, I can't believe that Peaches by Justin Bieber, which is the worst song off of his album, but I actually enjoyed most of the album, but that song is just terrible. Like just objectively, like it was considered one of the top songs of the year for the Grammys. And I'm like, what? Like, who would ever vote for
Giveon though? Who was on that song? Giveon's great R&B artist.
No, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm just saying like the song was the same three chords. There was no resolve. I was just like, man, what in the world? Anyway, so like,
I agree completely.
Like he had some great songs, and that was just not one of them. Anyway, all right, Mike, you're up, dude. What's your favorite release of the year?
Last, I'll keep it nice and short and sweet. With artist Valley Palace, I really started to listen to a lot past year. Dream pop kind of stuff. That's like my like heart and soul, dream pop. heavy reverb, lots of like time-based effects on. There's good stuff. I found them on TikTok, actually.
Nice. Hey,
deciding to run for cover, I think, possibly.
Dang.
Like
I mean, TikTok is a great place for a lot of up and coming musicians. You know, it's.
I found them. I was like, oh, that sounds like sick. And I started listening to them. And yeah.
Nice, dude.
Good stuff. Good.
Nice.